actually bought from Teachers Pay Teachers, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
Yeah.
Talk stems that I thought looked interesting and appropriate for the high school level. And then I found another one, and now I don't remember where I found the other one. And I don't think I found it on, I can't remember where it came from, but I definitely, it was similar to stuff that I saw on Better Lesson, but that wasn't where I took it from. But also, I just liked how it broke down the different categories. Okay, so obviously nothing goes as planned. I had planned to finish the unit. The girls would start the Verso app in class, finish it for homework. I didn't process that the same day was a volleyball game. Right. I think it may have been volleyball and tennis together. But anyway, I wasn't giving up my class, even though I didn't have a full class at all. But I still finished the unit. So I had 2 last pieces to do on the unit, both that were in Hebrew. I tied up the unit with, sort of gave a summary, talked about a few other things with them. And I told the girls, you're going to see Verso app online. It is not, you're going to see it on Haiku as an assignment. It is not homework. The next day was a Friday. So I had a 30-minute class with the girls. So the next day, I told the girls, you're going to do another Verso app assignment. I chose 3 of my essential questions for the unit with the girls. Those were in the instructions on Verso app. They had to choose 2 out of those 3 essential questions to answer. They had to tell me which source they were using from the unit to answer. And then I spoke to them about the last time that they did it, how great their answers were, et cetera, but that we needed to work on comments. And that a good comment was not simply saying, yes, I agree with you, period, or yes, I agree with you, and then repeating exactly what the person wrote, but that, yes, I agree with you because, and backing up your answer or extending the person's answer. So I spoke to them about that. I presented them with the talk stems, which I posted on Haiku so they would have it. And I told them they had to use those in order to write their comments. I graded everything. Graded meaning I read everything. I responded to every single kid's. They basically got points for their response. So 3 points for each answer they gave, 2 points for each comment, total of 10 points. It was really more a question of was it done or not. Although there were a couple of girls that I did end up, I decided taking 1 point off gives a little ding. So it's a 9 out of 10, not a 10 out of 10. So a little ding for the grade conscious kids in my honors class. For kids that really did not answer the questions properly. I didn't get any dings for comments. For the most part, the talk stems really worked. I took a few screenshots of those. I have not posted them yet to Better Lesson. It was very interesting. I had one girl that really stands out in my mind as a girl that was definitely not one that I would say I would put at the top of the class. Her comment, both of her comments were really, really good. One of them, she wrote to the student, I agree. I think I may have caught this when I did the screenshot. I don't remember, but she wrote basically, I agree in the sense that what you wrote is accurate, but I disagree because I don't think you answered the question. And then she went on to say because, et cetera, et cetera. I was like, wow, okay, not the kid I would have expected it from, but it was really good on her part. It worked. And the other one, she also gave some real pushback to the girl. So that was really good. And the kids, I saw them using it because I saw them when they were doing the work in class. Some of the girls, I said to them, if you need to catch up on the notes and you want to use this 30 minutes so that you can copy notes and catch up on what you missed, you want to do the Verso app at home, you're welcome to. It was a 30-minute class. I wasn't going to start a new topic. It was my last class before the break. I just wanted them to be sure that they were caught up because I wanted to close the unit so that when we come back, I'm ready to start my new unit. I think that it really worked. I think the talk stems really work. I didn't talk to the kids a lot about it. I don't think I did a lot of front loading on it. I didn't give them a whole lesson on how we respond. I didn't turn into an English teacher overnight, but I think just having the talk stems there made the kids aware of how to use it. And then I tried to make sure when I commented back to the kids as much as possible, I tried to borrow some of those templates also.
So one of my jobs when I work with you, which is one of the reasons why, with the coffee and in the sun, this is one of my favorite moments of the week.
I cannot believe, because you should see this. LA does not look this good. Let me tell you, right?
Well, Charlotte today looks good. Is to help you identify in the debriefing process what is really helpful, I think, for a teacher like you, is to help you identify what you actually have done to set it up to work. Because it's always a little bit more than when you think you've done. Okay? So when I heard your rollout and your implementation, I first heard an introduction to it. So basically explain to the girls what you saw last time on Verso and what you saw should be better now.
Right.
Based on that. Well, that by itself probably leads to improvement. You follow that up with a tool, the TalkStem, that they can access on Haiku Learning if it's difficult for them to know how to do that. You decided to be present on the post, and I think that is critical in blended learning. Teachers' presence on the online work to be able to provide feedback, to notice what students are doing, is going to make a huge difference.
So I sent them an email, since I'm not going to see them till after the holiday. I sent them an email saying that I graded everything and they should notice I've commented on everybody's posting. This was worse than grading a test, let me tell you.
Yeah, and I think I can imagine that, and I think that
it was like unbelievable. It took me so.
And I think moving forward, part of what we're going to have to do is figure out more manageable ways for you to do something like that. But when you do it for the first time, though, if you're stressing that this is important for them, and I really think it is, not just for VersoApp, the ability to contribute to the conversation this way, then the first time you do it, you ought to go out with a bang. And I think your idea of evaluating it and what you were looking for is a great way to set the tone for that. So these 4 steps are as much as the TalkStems responsible for the impact you saw. Initially, when you set the goal for this activity, you had set a goal with me of getting 80% of students to try to reply to each other's comments in a way that would not be the yes or no that you got the first time. What would you say you got? What do you think you got?
Oh, I think I would say I probably got like closer to 90% where I want them to be.
So let's put it there, and I think it's really good, and that's going to be definitely something to think about and reflect upon, and I think for you as a leader as well, as we do this work, I constantly will try to help you be meta with this work and notice the importance of setting measurable goals for teachers and implementing ideas in their classroom. When we talk about metrics with teachers, it might be the same at EULA. I don't know what the culture is in your school. But in the public school systems right now, the culture is driven by standardized tests.
Right. And that's not the case by us.
But when the culture is so driven by only the standardized tests,
right.
When we talk about metrics with teachers, all they think about is test scores. But before the test scores can move up, what is really important is understanding there are many other things that a teacher can affect before it will show on a test score. And you affected your students' ability to contribute to an online conversation in a more constructive and in a deeper way. So among your reflection on what you learned in the next steps, what would you say if you were to do this again, if you were to reiterate a strategy like that? What are some moves that you would like to pull or you would like support in imagining in order to make this even better next time around? And it could be around how manageable it was or non-manageable it was for you What did you learn through this process?
First of all, it was very interesting. In some of the cases, a kid would respond, and then you'd have 2 students respond or 3 students respond back to her. And all together, they really had, and you took 3 or 4 responses together, starting with that initial posting, you really had like this full, huge answer. I think what I'd like to see next time, and I think I just didn't think about how to do it or worry about it because we went out on break.
Yeah.
Is really to bring the discussion back into the classroom. Even if it's only 10 minutes, but to bring the conversation back into the classroom.
I think that's
Be able to highlight some answers or...
Yeah, I think this is a fantastic goal. And I'm really glad you're bringing it up because I think online discussions can go that far.
Right.
But what's really interesting is figuring out how can I use what the online discussions has improved to transform my class discussions or to bring a different approach to my class discussion. Because one of the earlier goal you had was around getting everybody's voice in.
Right.
And then the second goal was to get everybody's voice in and to get a real dialogue.
Right.
But now this has happened. If I were to go back to talk to my class, who would be talking? And how would we use the momentum already created to have a different form of conversation there? And so I think that could be a really interesting goal for us to work on. It doesn't have to be that we reactivate it right away. It
Right.
can be that I think it will be good to complete the strategy.
Right.
But whenever you want to, and you would be interested in pushing in this route, then we can reactivate it, but add this added dimension, or create literally a new strategy that would be more of a blended discussion, like how to blend the discussion from starting it online to bringing into the class and trying to keep working on this equity and richness of the conversation could be phenomenal. So I think you're setting a really interesting bar. One thing I would like to ask you as a next step is, and I hope it works well with the holidays and everything, but would just be to look back a little bit on the strategies and upload some interesting artifacts.
Okay.
So one thing that I want you to know, because it could be really exciting very soon, a better lesson, our engineers are always looking at what we work on with the teachers and what's really popular and what seems to be new strategies that are not on the site. And they caught the fact that we've been working on Verso app, you and me,
right?
A little bit with Diana. And so they've asked me to create a strategy like that would be published on the site. So I did this so far, but I did it with mostly teacher-facing resources like the website, tutorials.
Mm-hmm.
But what one of my goals would actually to create one that would be like a teacher strategy with some artifacts of what kids have done.
Right.
And I would love to use your work with your permission. And of course with credit on the site. Okay.
Okay.
So one of the things would be to think about some of these excellence. So for example, the poster that you found, it doesn't really matter to us. If you find something better than what we have, we want it. Could be an interesting photograph. I don't know if it's a poster or the haiku, what you shared on the haiku post could be great.
Okay.
I think the dashboard from the
Okay, and you can upload more than one image? Absolutely. At a time?
No, you do one at a time, quick description, then you repeat the process, quick description. I don't know if you saw on the haiku, on the Verso site, that you can export the board to an Excel spreadsheet.
Oh.
So if I have one more minute to show you that, 9:38, you're good with the time?
Yeah.
I'm going to share my screen one sec if I'm not already doing this. Am I sharing my screen right now?
Now you are.
Now you are. So if you go to Verso, now you can do the screenshot too. And like, for example, when you said during the call, that there
Right.
was one post that you thought very interesting in the way
Right.
that conversation unfolded,
Okay.
it would be great to do a screenshot of that, because I think a teacher who would see that would be really interested in the impact of this.
Okay.
But I've also saw that you can just export the spreadsheet. There's a little icon in the top right corner of the discussion board. It looks like an arrow going out of a square, kind of
Okay.
like the same export
Yeah.
sign you would see everywhere. And if you click on it, you can get an email with your discussion board as a spreadsheet.
Okay.
So that could be interesting to do. For some reason, it's taking a long time. Here we go. So let's see my classes. So let's look at the one we used in LA. Yes. So if I look at that post, you see right here,
Okay.
when I click on it, then a CBS export can be
Okay.
sent. So that could be really good. And then in the future, if it feels right to you at one point to say, I want to build off of this and I want to do a blended discussion, then I see potential also for this to be a different strategy, and for us to look into ways we could create connections between the online and the face-to-face, and gather some other artifacts. These would be actual strategy that, I mean, I'm saying this, I'm getting excited when I talk about this, but one of my favorite things about this work is we move the needle for your kids, but we can move the needle for thousands of kids
Right.
around the nation, right? And so that's pretty cool to think about that. Sorry, that was a lot of excitement.
Okay.
Sometimes I get a little too giddy. So for now, my gut is considering the time and the facts of the holiday, why don't we just focus on this part, completing the strategy with the artifacts.
Okay.
Give you a little more time to think about if you would like to run it again right away, or if you'd like to bring the focus to something else.
Okay.
And then the second item would be the survey. And so I will send you in a separate email your survey info for your kids. And I will also be sending this to every EULA teacher.
Okay.
And maybe next time we meet, probably be early November, we can do a little checkpoint and see, even if it's just to remind you, because there's going to be a lot of things. Let's see if we can get this done before November 18th.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Can we try to put another date in the book for you?
Yeah, let's do that.
Two weeks from now is the 27th. And I think
that's when we go back to school.
So maybe let's shoot for the week after that.
So November 3rd, maybe?
Yeah, so November 3rd, I don't know why I have a team on site there, because I don't think this is happening anymore. The 9 to 9:30 is taken, but I think I do have some time between, so 6:30 for you and 8 for you, or after 9 for you.
Do you have 8 o'clock that morning my time on the 3rd open?
And that would be 11 my time. No, I have a meeting there. I have an 11 to 12 meeting, an 8 to 9 meeting.
So can we do 9:30, or is that no good?
12:30? Yep, that's good. Okay. So let me put it here, 12:30 to 1. And we should be good to go like that. Okay. Well, thank you so much for making that time from home during the holidays.
Thank you.
I hope you had an easy and meaningful fast yesterday.
Yes, I definitely did. Thank you very much.
And I'll see you after the holidays.
So I'll see, in November.
November 3rd, and I'll send you the calendar invite.
Excellent.
And with the Zoom link, and it looks like Zoom is working well for us. So
yes, it is.
Keep it going. If anything between now and then arises on your end, and you have any question here, always email me. I'm always a short email away.
Okay, terrific.
Thank you very much
for
all your work. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.